beacon.
Yeah.
Keep rolling.
To be fair, that wasn't her idea.
Ah.
That was one of my father's. Brilliant.
Oh, right.
Well, I didn't think it would actually end up happening, but here I am out on the Whirinaki forest track with a bunch of my real good friends, and we are heading out for our first overnight at the Central Whirinaki Track. It's a 15.5-ish kilometre track, and it's going to take us somewhere in the region of 5.5 hours to finish, and we are all absolutely loaded up to the max. So there are two of us in the pack, myself and one of my friend's husbands, who are carrying the bulk of the weight, probably anywhere upwards of 15 kilos in our packs at the moment, and the shoulders are starting to hurt, but it's not too bad so far. We've been walking for nearly an hour, and I'm sure we'll just ease into it. The track so far has been beautiful, if not a little bit muddy, and I think we're just starting to come across some really quite muddy sections at the moment, but we're expecting it to be quite a flat track, and so far it has not disappointed, and I think generally we're all in really good spirits, so let's just carry on and upwards. We'll probably stop in another 15 minutes for a little bit of a break, and then it will be on to Vern's camp for a spotted lunch. So we're coming up 2.5 hours into our walk now, and I think there's some sore shoulders and legs and things around, but we're all doing pretty well. I'm having fun anyway. It's been a little bit more steep over the last hour or so. There have been some climbs that we've had to do, which has been a bit hard with the weight on the back, but overall not too bad. It's still been mainly flat. Oh, cool guys. How's everybody feeling?
Really glad to be here.
So glad to have that pack off.
This is a nice little hut.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, we could just stay here. What do you reckon?
No. And the fire's going! You legends! You can do it! Welcome, welcome.
Let's just sleep in here, keep the fire going.
Well, this is a welcome sight. So we're here, and it was a pretty grueling 16-kilometre hike out here. Despite all the advice that I'd gotten that the track was quite flat, there were actually quite a few climbs that we needed to do, and when you've got a group of people who are wearing quite heavy packs and aren't used to carrying them, it does take a little bit of time, but we still managed to get out here within our 5-hour time limit. So we left at 11 AM this morning, and we've just gotten in at about 4:30, and we stopped at Vern's camp for half an hour for lunch. So that means a total hiking time of 5 hours, which is pretty much bang on the dot for the dock estimate. There's definitely a few sore bodies. So Amy is struggling with her hip. I think Kieran has struggled with his knee. I definitely have very sore feet and very sore shoulders, and so far Mum hasn't complained of any ailments, but I'm sure that that's probably not too far to come. Again, touch wood, temperature wise it's not too bad considering that we are now at the beginning of August, and I think it's going to get a little bit cold overnight, but we've managed to get the fire going, as you can see from our little smoke there on the chimney, so I'm sure we'll manage to keep nice and toasty dry. It's been really interesting actually, the whole journey to get here. It's been a really anxious week for me, and lots and lots of sleepless nights. Last night I think I got maybe 3 or 4 hours sleep. Tonight I'm not too sure how much sleep I will get. It's definitely the last 4 or 5 kilometers of that hike as well. I really had to battle through some mental issues, get over some anxiety, tell myself that I could do it, try not to freak myself out too much about the fact that I'm stopping here in the middle of nowhere with no service for the night. So I've given myself permission to freak out, and I think that just means that I don't get to put all that pressure on myself to try and be strong. So I'm just thankful that I'm here with a group of friends and people that I know who aren't going to judge me for that sort of stuff, and I can just give myself the permission to come what may, whatever that means. So we're going to cook up some dinner, and we are just going to chill out for the rest of the night and play some board games and stuff, and then we are going to head back tomorrow morning. So I'll leave you with some bits and pieces from our evening.
Yeah.
When was the last time someone else was here? 15. Right, yes, right, I've chopped up some cheese. Chopped up That's good.
It's good.
Yeah, this plate was very
Looks
heavy.
tasty.
It's the cheese. The cheese will make it. And he makes the best risotto.
Is that parmesan?
No, but very special. The realities of camping.
Oh, downward slide now. Oh, will be.
Oh, I won't go in. Here we go. Let's get going.
Michelle, stop looking so optimistic.
Bye bye, Hutch. Good morning, everybody. I think I might have had, I don't even know, less than a couple of hours sleep. It was a very restless night, but we got there eventually, and now I get to tick that little item off of the bucket list, which is really cool. So it was a bit of a difficult night for me. Had a bit of a flare up of the old anxiety. Proper, not a full-on panic attack, but definitely getting up there. It was more of the traditional style of anxiety attack I'm used to, which is in the form of lots and lots of trembling and feeling dizzy and feeling sick, like I couldn't eat. Last night there was a bunch of chocolate on the table and I just did not want any of it. So it took a little while to calm my nerves. And I think just a different environment in being out in the middle of nowhere, you know, it just set that off a little bit for me. I think as well, a lot of it had to do with knowing that we had to get up this morning and walk another 16 kilometres back out to the car park in the road end, so that was a bit of a mental battle, especially in the depths of the night last night. Yeah, so I think we're all feeling a little bit tender today. It definitely took it out of us yesterday, and it was a long way to walk with a lot of weight on our packs, so this morning a lot of the packs are a lot lighter, which is nice, but yeah, my shoulders are screaming at me and my hips actually are a little bit sore, so I think that's actually quite a good thing because it means that I have had my pack sitting in the appropriate place, which is nice. So I'll give you a few more updates as we carry on, but all in all I think we're all just looking forward to getting home and having a decent night's sleep tonight. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the hut, which was a relatively decent hut. I don't have much experience, so I don't know what to compare it to, but I have to say it was quite nice. And there were plenty of bunks there, and despite the fact that we couldn't get the fire going because all the firewood was wet, it was quite warm. Once I got down into my sleeping bag and everything, I was quite surprised that I managed to make it through the entire night in my Enigma without having to put on my puffy jacket. So that was really good, and I didn't even need to wear a beanie, so that was cool. I also bought one of the Trekology inflatable pillows to come out on this trip with, and Mum bought one too, and so we tried those out last night. Relatively comfortable. I did wake up, not that I actually went to sleep, but I did sort of wake up a couple of hours into the night and it had deflated, but I'm assuming that that's probably because I didn't lock off the valve properly like I should have, because when I re-inflated it, it was fine for the rest of the night. The toilets are composting ones, and one of them was much nicer than the other one, but I found my way around using them, so that's all I'm going to say on that matter. So we're just coming up on Vern's camp now, and we're going to stop here for some lunch and a much needed break, and then we're going to push on for the final 2.5 hours till we get to the car park and the shuttle. Oh, hold on. I got some water in my boot.
Oh, no.
You mind?
Stop.
No.
Well, it'll be good to get it out, otherwise you're going to feel sick.
No, it was only a little bit.
Pardon?
It was only a little bit.
I've just seen that if you go. But he's walked over 3 times. No. Some more than that. Don't you reckon?
I don't know, Mum.
I think it has. Who's the hut?
So I popped a blister at Vern's shelter when we were there, and that was probably a bad idea because now it's sort of rubbing, even though I managed to put a plaster over it. About 4.5 kilometres left to go, and plenty enough time to make it back for the shuttle. This track is just beautiful. The sun's just started to come through. We just see a little bit. Where's the track? There we go. You can just about see the sun coming through the trees, and it's just gorgeous. I don't know that everybody else is really enjoying it as much as I am, and that is totally understandable because quite a few of them are sore and they've got little things niggling, so I don't hold that against them at all. I've had some time to think since last night and this morning about how this makes me feel about doing the TA, and last night when I was having my panic attack, I basically convinced myself that it wasn't going to happen, and I don't know that I've necessarily unconvinced myself either. The whole idea of doing something like this by myself as opposed to in a group of people is quite daunting, and even, you know, if you're just with one other person, you can still feel like you're very alone, and I guess that's sort of what people doing that type of thing through hiking are after. But also I've now got a taste of just how much more enjoyable it is to be in a big group of people doing this sort of stuff. As far as staying at huts goes, and especially using toilet facilities like that for days on end before you can get to a nice flushing toilet, that's something that I would like to have a bit more of a think about. And certainly I'm a bit nervous about cold weather, damp weather, not being able to get fires going, that sort of thing, because last night not being able to get a fire going in the hut, it was a real morale dampener. Excuse the pun. I don't want to let an experience that was a little bit negative affect my decision, and I definitely don't want to be making any decisions in the next little while. I just need some time to think about it and see what I want to do, but we'll see. Maybe I still decide to go on and ahead with my plan this year, and maybe I just decide I want to get some more practice and stuff in first and make sure that it's definitely something that I can do. But either way, you guys will be the first to know. So we're nearing the end of the trail and I'm at a loss for what to say. It has definitely been a type 2 fun outing, and I'm a little bit conscious that this was all off of the back of my own idea, and that these other people wouldn't be out here unless I'd asked them to come with me. And yeah, I'm just so grateful to have such wonderful friends and family who are willing and able to do this sort of stuff with me. So I hope none of them have suffered too many injuries and hurts and niggles as a result. I'm so proud of Mum for what she's achieved. I think it's just been amazing for her, and for Cheryl and Amy and Kieran who came along for the ride. You know, what great people they are to have put on packs that easily probably weigh over 10 kilos each and just come out and do this without any other training. So super grateful for those guys, and maybe we'll do it again soon, maybe we won't, but even if we won't, I've still got lots and lots of memories that I can come home with. So it really is a good lesson that you really can do anything if you put your mind to it. Till next time, guys. Just a wave, everyone. We did it.